Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. And today we have this incredible layout by the incredible Missy Whidden. And I have to tell you that every time I get ready to do a Missy Whidden layout, I get both excited and intimidated because, you know, she's my idol. This one, I think I have pretty close to that same stencil that she used for this. I'm going to, because of the nature of my photo, I'm going to use mostly blues and greens. I'm going to try to ombre down from blue to green, somewhat like this Cocoa Vanilla 6x8 paper that ombres from blue down to green, and that I die cut some leaves out of. Where did they go? They're here, so you can kind of see the variation there. So I'm going to use these along with, I took the ephemera from the Cocoa Vanilla Sunkissed collection, and there it is. And I pulled out all the blues and greens there. I don't know that I'll use it all. I've got this Limeade Twist sequin mix that has the little kiwis in it, and just some beautiful chartreuse colored sequins. So I'm going to try to work those in. I have this chartreuse color burst from Ken Oliver and a collection of blues in the Distress Oxides in the order that I'm going to use them, and then greens going down to Twisted Citron. So we'll see how... my idea is, and I've never done this before, my idea is that I will use my brushes to apply the, colors, and then I might leave some areas open and do a different color, a much lighter, or if I'm doing the navy blue chipped sapphire, for example, I might work in some peacock feathers or the mowed lawn or something like that up in there. So as I go along, I'm going to leave some white spots. I'm going to try to ombre it both in strength of color and from blue towards green down. I've taped my stencil down because I'm going to be using it so much, and I really want the fairly crisp lines there, although after I take it off, I am going to do splatters and maybe some splotching, like you can kind of see that she's done on the white parts. And so I guess we'll go. For my photo, this is a photo that James found when he was looking for pictures of John to feature in his happy birthday posting on Facebook. And it's a picture, I think, from 2012, where John and Barrett are sitting out. At 2012, Barrett was 8. And he's wearing his baseball uniform. So they're sitting out on the deck, which is above our deck, our basement level deck. It's on James's main level. And I have no idea what they're discussing. I didn't know this photo existed. No idea what they're talking about. It could be baseball, or it could be Batman, or they may not be talking at all. Barrett may be looking down at his phone. He may be getting some screen time, while John appears to be staring off at the trees, and maybe there's a bird that looks like there might be a bird right there. I love this photo. It shows the cute little baldness pattern and sunspot up on on John's little head, and that he needed a haircut, and it's in the old chairs, and he just threw the pillow down, it looks like, onto the deck. It's just a Saturday afternoon after the game, just sitting outside chilling out kind of photo. So I'm gonna use all cool colors and let it be kind of a chill out sort of version of this very bright, happy, pink inspired kind of version here. So let's get this part done first. I expect this will be somewhat of a long video, but it doesn't necessarily, I guess I need to be careful of that, doesn't necessarily have to be. There's where I'll leave some white, and I'll kind of go up in here, and I'm not gonna necessarily go all the way to the edges of here, so that's all I'm gonna use of the chipped sapphire. Now I'll kind of blend it down into some of this blueprint sketch. And I'm gonna switch over to my blue-green brush, and I may do some of that there. And I think I will do some spritzing, but I want to do it so that it's not real wet. Okay, here's another kind of blue-green. I have to be careful because I really want it to be light when I get down to here. Let me do that. Now I'm going to switch over to greens, and I also have to remember that the photo is going to cover up quite a bit, so I want to make sure all the colors show outside the photo range. This is Lucky Clover. And I'm going to overlap it there. I may go up and do a little up in here. I kind of like that set of colors that are there now. Now the cracked pistachio is a good one to kind of work in up with the blues. And I'll make sure that I have some down here. And I'm getting kind of into that area where I sort of wanted this to stop, but you know, if it works out that way, fine. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Okay, here's the mowed lawn, and this kind of gets into that lime green color area that I really love. And now my citron. I'm gonna do it rather heavily up here. And I'm going to let that be my sort of bottom color that I'm going to go around. I've selected this kind of row of waves, if you will. Okay, and I'm gonna work in a little of this up here. And you know, I am going to the edge, all the way to the edge. It's going to leave a little bit of a white border there, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like that, but I kind of have to live with it. Okay, I'm going to stop that, put that away. And now, before I do the spritzing, I'm gonna sprinkle some of this chartreuse color burst around, and I expect it will give me that kind of mottled, I'm afraid to squeeze it too hard. Let me squeeze it into there and then kind of do that. It doesn't squeeze out too badly. Okay. Kind of want to put a fair amount right there. Okay, now we're gonna see what happens when I spritz it. Okay, and I've got it spritzed, and this is one I definitely want to kind of blot up, and some of the color from the paper towel may transfer onto there, and I thought of that, and it didn't, but I would have been okay if it had. That's kind of lightened this area, so I'm gonna do some splatters in a variety of different colors. I'm using Dyan Reaveley Dylusions. The first color was After Midnight. It's a dark navy. The next one was Calypso Teal. And then there's Fresh Lime in the non-shimmer. And then there's Fresh Lime in Shimmer. And then I have some Jen Hadfield in Gold Glitter. And it's not wanting to open. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna push those aside, and I'm gonna get my paper towel roll again. And come down this way. And now we'll see what we have in the way of a background. I'm excited. love it. Okay, let me put this aside. This is where, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that this is where I would ask John to get up from whatever television show he was glued to and wash my stencil. But I did that. I'm sure he'd do it if he were here. Okay, I'm going to say that the color variation I love, and I love the splatters and splotches. I'm going to add some more of the gold shimmer because I really like that effect. And I'm going to do the fresh lime shimmer down in this part as well as up here. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. That is a little piece of hair from the brush. Okay, we'll do this again. Those shimmery colors really shimmer up nicely when you go over them like that. Okay, so that's my background. It's still a little wet, but I think I'm okay because my photo is lifted up on foam. I'm going to put liquid glue on it because the background is wet, and this will make it stick better. Let me put that aside so I can bring this back up here. I forgot to take off the good tablecloth. I normally don't do mixed media when I have a good tablecloth on the table, but I forgot. Okay, then let's see where we want to put this. I think right there is going to work. And I'm going to press it down with something other than my fingers, because I don't want to make finger marks on the glossy photo paper. And I'm working my supply of glossy photo paper down. I don't like glossy photo paper for the fact that it has such ugly reflections. And I'm going to put this aside for a second because I have something to cut. I want to do this this bottom part right here, and I couldn't find a blue and green stripe that I liked well enough. So I found something different. On this page from Color Story by Vicki Boutin, I found this stitched aqua piece. And so I'm going to cut it along the cut edge there, the straight edge. And then I'm going to tear the rest, hoping that I can use the other half of what I tear on something else. And then I'm just going to put that on top of the white paper instead of having it behind. So I'm going to go, just going to kind of start like that. And I'm not gonna go around this guy. And see if I really want it in there. I kind of debated. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. And if I can work some embellishments around it. So I should be able to use this on something else at the bottom of another layout. Okay, so let's bring this back in to be sure I have that there. This is kind of, at least for me anyway, this one's going to be what you might call monochromatic. I'm going to give it some texture, I'm going to kind of fold it back. And it's got that pink and orange stripe on the other side, so that's going to kind of peek through if I roll it over like this. And I actually don't mind that border as much as I thought I might. Okay, let me do this. I've got this half of a flower there, and I kind of like that the little red center shows, and I might add that in there. Yeah, put a little, and I might find a group of sequins or something to add to that. I'll kind of curl that up. Okay, now let's start building the clusters here. Oh, I have this little clear sticker. It's kind of just barely sketched on in green. Did I take the sticker off of that? It's from an Amy Tangerine sticker book. Ah, okay, it's the green outlining white, and that didn't show up. But I might just kind of tuck that in there. I'm not a huge fan of how the edges of clear stickers kind of get, but in this case, on a mixed media layout, it's fine. Let's see what we can do here. I've got this cloud. I think I'm not going to use that. My title is going to be the word this, and it's going to go right there, but I think I'm going to pop it up. And I'm going to bring the original out to kind of see if I'm capturing the essence of what it is that I love about it. Her title is, happiness right here. There are lots of word gatherings of words, but she's got some things over in the pool area here, and I've got kind of this black area to work with, but I can put this across the blinds down. Okay, I have a bit of it showing and I hate that. So I'm gonna cut it off right there. Pull this back and kind of angle it there. Okay, now let's see what we've got. I want to take a leaf, one of these skeleton leaves. That is the name of the die set, by the way. It's Tim Holtz Thinlits, and it's a collection called Skeleton Leaves. And I just laid them out on that 6x8 sheet, and they fit perfectly. So I'm going to do that there with the green going up, and I'm going to take this one with the blue kind of going down, and then I'm going to take some of these leaves on here. So let me just get those. And again, I'm doing my different layers, things raised up so that I can attach my, or layer up my cluster. And let me layer that in a little bit different place there. I'll do it over. I kind of taking a cue from this one, it kind of looks like she's used a grayish sort of cardstock to mat the photo. And it looks like that there might be tissue or some kind of softer paper. So I happen to have this green tissue that something that came to me was packaged in, and I thought I'd just add it to that. And I had a piece of kind of elephant gray cardstock, and I used both sides. One side is smooth and one side is textured. And I just, when I did the first mat, I inked the edges with a, it's a kind of a combination by now of green and, or black and brown ink. Okay, let me choose a, okay, I'm going to do that flower, and I'm going to put it on some foam. And I'll have the leaves coming out kind of overlapping these leaves. I will put in a, do I want to do that? Or maybe kind of do it like that. Okay. And I'm probably gonna faff about with this a bit because I just pulled things without any thought to where they were gonna go specifically, because I had no idea how the background might turn out. I'm going to use this leaf up there and this one in combination with that. So I want I think I'll do a blue flower there. So let me look for the right, and I'll go with a different green leaf there. I like this kind of going up that way, and I need it to go up because it kind of covers that black spot when we took the photograph. And I think James must have taken this one. It was taken at an angle, and the rest of the room kind of was blacked out. Let's see what I have here. Okay, let me do this blue flower I'm going to cut it in half.